And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this evening on our second daily briefing event for the year 2023. Thank you all for taking the time, making the time to be present for this session today. As we announced yesterday, we will be going progressively and at very, very high pace this year with the products and services. And we will be looking at expanding the portfolio of the activities that we are involved in. In just a few minutes, Dr. Linus will come through. He is actually in the meeting. Good evening, Dr. Linus, and all the leaders who are in the house. We are going right into
Good evening.
As indicated, good evening, Dr. Linus. As indicated yesterday, the first thing we want to focus on for this year and for all the leaders in the house, the first thing that every one of us need to focus on is on either getting people to change their email addresses to a Swifin email box, or new people who are registering to be able to get their, to set up their account from the get-go with a Swifin account. So that is going to be the drive that we will be on for the next few weeks. Mailbox, mailbox, mailbox. And Dr. Linus is going to take us all through the process of acquiring the mailbox. There are different ways in which it could be done, but we are looking for the simplest way in which we can execute it and also make it beneficial for the leaders who are helping the communities to register and activate the existing accounts. In the meantime, while after Dr. Linus has gone through that, I will just share with you guys where I am. I'm actually not at my desk. I'm at an event with a partner, or where we did a partnership with this organization. It's a massive organization, and some of the alternative assets that we are discussing this evening, we will bring it to the community for the benefit of yourselves and your families. So I will just share a little bit about that when Dr. Linus has finished with the email, the mailbox acquisition process. Thank you all so much. Dr. Linus, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Brother B, and welcome everybody to this session. We're going to keep it as quick as possible. I'm going to share my screen and just go through a number of points, which I'll try and keep as simple as possible. I hope you can see my screen. The mailbox issue that we're talking about it's actually one of our biggest challenges at the moment. And why is it a challenge? It's because we send out effectively thousands of messages every day, whether those messages are coming from Transact, or they are coming from Account, or they are coming from Connect. As you can see, this is the inbox which handles messages for Account. And we're constantly going through and deleting them. These ones that you see on the screen are messages that are destined to mailboxes which are not actually taking delivery, either because the mailbox is not available or because the message is being deferred in one way or another. And this is in thousands. As you can see, they're coming in literally every second. So we cannot be overwhelmed when we are faced with any challenge. What we just need to do always is think of a solution and a way to address it. And one of the ways that we have found in dealing with problems with mailboxes, I'll open this one as an example. This is a mailbox that is going to Gmail. That's the email address. It says host says that this email account does not exist. Okay, so this is one that a member has decided to use to create an account, but the mailbox actually doesn't exist, so we can't deliver messages to it. The implication of this is that if this person ever lost their password to any of our services, the support team would not be able to help them because the password needs to be reset and sent to their mailbox. Okay, that's an example where we had this before, where in fact we were not enforcing the verification of email addresses as people were registering. And that, I have to say, was partly as a result of, in response to the demand from people in the local communities saying that, oh, well, many of our people don't have email addresses. And so therefore, how can they register? I said, fine, perhaps you can go ahead and register and just use your own email address, or just use, create an email address for them on Gmail, because Gmail is free. And so what happened essentially was that instead of actually creating creating a working and active Gmail account, in some cases, the email account that was created, either because it has not been used frequently, is now no longer active and it's been deleted. And therefore, we are not able to deliver any communication into it. And this is in thousands. I mean, you can see the messages coming in. That's 3 seconds ago, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. So that's literally every second, one of these messages is coming back. And what we typically do is we just clean them out and delete them. Now, the implication of this is that if you wanted to register for any of the services without a working email address, you just simply wouldn't. Because now we are enforcing the activation of the email address. It is important because it's going to improve the way that we provide support to the community. Imagine you've lost your password, the support team can very easily just assist you in resetting your password so that a new one can be sent directly to your mailbox. If there is vital information that needs to be sent to you, then you can receive that. If there are transactions on your account, or transactions on Connect, or transactions on Transact, it is important that you are informed about those transactions so that you can keep up to date with what is happening with your account. Without a working email, it is not possible. And so we find ourselves in a scenario where we are sending messages out, but every time those messages are being returned because either the mailboxes do not exist, or the messages are being deferred by some of the third-party service providers. Yahoo is an example. If I can find one from Yahoo, then we might be able to see it. I can't immediately, but that is what the issue is. And so instead of getting overwhelmed and just effectively spending time talking about the fact that this problem exists and it's affecting the way that people access their services, we just had to find a solution. And the solution is for each individual to have their own mailbox, okay? So that's happening in account right now because the stimulus payments are going out, and each time a stimulus payment is made or a commission is paid, the system will attempt to deliver a notification to that account to tell them what is going on in real time. Okay, and that's why you have many of these streaming in literally every second. Now, of course, we can look at what is happening with Transact. When people try to register on Transact, if there are issues, then again, those issues will be reported here. This is an example where, again, it's somebody has tried to register with a mailbox. That's that one, and it says that that mailbox cannot be reached because it doesn't exist, right? I can assure you that we have done everything possible to actually make sure that our systems are not listed on any restrictive sites, which can cause messages to be delivered into spam. These are additional steps that must be taken to ensure that we have a very high level of deliverability of our messages. And so we are very confident that that has been done and that there is no issue on our side at all. That's no user. So typically this, when we see this again, we just clean them out because we can't, it's for information only. In terms of Connect, what is happening in the community itself, this have been cleaned out, but I mean, if you go into Thrash and the trash has not been emptied, then you would see many of such similar messages within the trash folder, which effectively just have been cleaned out. And so our solution is to use the Swifin Mailbox. So how does the Swifin Mailbox work? Of course, we are aware of the challenges that we have as a community. We are faced with a commitment, an unwavering commitment to provide solutions to a community that has been unbanked for many, many generations. Over 90% of people are unbanked in some countries. And we are trying to provide a mechanism which will enable them to have access. And so what we've tried to do is make the distribution of the emails very much community focused, so that if you have a bank card and you can buy online, then you can buy online. There is a bulk buying process of a minimum of 10. In fact, it's a bundle of 10. So you buy a bundle of 10. Depending on popular demand, we can create bundles of 20, bundles of 100, and even bundles of 1,000. The reason we have limited it to specific product bundles is because each time you buy a bundle now, the system will automatically issue coupons, which will give you or entitle the bearer of those coupons or the holder of those coupons 100% off a single mailbox. So there are 3 levels. One is the bulk buy of 10. That is a community purchase. And that would be at the cost of $1 plus 1 Lumi. And you can pay this either in Lumi directly or AKX in Connect. AKX and Lumi are completely interchangeable in this case. AKX is a representation of the token on Connect, and AKL is the actual currency, much the same way as we have USX and USD, or ZAX and ZAR for South African Rand, for example. So $1 which will be paid on a card per mailbox. So in that case, for the bulk buy of 10, that will be $10 plus 10 Lumi for 10. But that is the price of one Lumi and $1. Now, what we have said is that we recommend that the community can distribute this to other community members for $2 equivalent plus 2 Lumi, okay? So the member would have to pay you 2 Lumi, either 2 Lumi on Transact or 2 Lumi on account or 2 AKX on Connect. Either way, they have to pay you 2 Lumi plus the equivalent of $2. So wherever you are, you would charge the equivalent of $2 plus 2 Lumi, and then you would give them one of these coupons. The coupon entitles each bearer of that coupon 100% off a single mailbox, okay? And a single mailbox actually is intended to be, if you are buying direct on Connect, $3 plus 3 Lumi. But because most people who are buying direct would need to use a card, a bank card, we don't have the provision to actually combine the payment of 3 AKL on a card. So it's going to be charged at the equivalent of $3 plus 3 Lumi on a bank card. So if you ever wanted to come and get this direct from the platform, a single mailbox, it will be, the price that was there before was a promotional price. of $3. Remember, this is a one-time setup price. So it is now $50 plus 88 cents. And that's what you would have to pay if you are buying direct. It is high. It is intended for people not to come and want to buy direct. So you are better off using, paying $2 plus 2 Lumi to another member of the community who has been able to acquire the coupons for $1 and 1 Lumi each. That way, the community members have a way of keeping or making $1 and 1 Lumi for each mailbox that they bulk buy, thereby giving them 100% return on their money. Okay, so we're looking at 100% return on those who buy the mailbox. Okay, so the only way to achieve that, so you're buying 10 minimum, each you're paying US dollar $1 plus 1 Lumi, and you can retail for $2 plus 2 Lumi. So you can recover your 1 Lumi plus your $1 plus 1 Lumi, and you would have an additional $1 and 1 Lumi to keep for yourself. Maybe use that towards buying airtime and to support your activity within the community. So remember, this is about delivering value to the community members, so members have the opportunity to actually generate some income directly. This helps us to address two problems. One, where there was an unordered mechanism where people went into the community and were charging people a fee to create email boxes, which in fact don't even work. By having a coupon and giving, asking the community member to buy this coupon for this amount, they can actually go online and be able to put that coupon in and get 100% off the price of a single mailbox. Okay, so that's the mechanism. We thought about it very, very hard in terms of how we can make this possible. One, to ensure that it is inclusive, to ensure that it presents value.
Sorry,
for,
Dr. Linus, can I just, sorry to interrupt you. Can everyone please mute yourselves? You're interrupting the presentation. Sorry, Dr. Linus. Can everyone please mute yourself because you are interrupting the presentation? Thank you.
Thank you. So it has to be inclusive, it has to be accessible, it has to represent value for the community, and hopefully should drive the exchange of value. Remember, for you to pay with Lumi, you need to be able to exchange the Lumi with other community members and so forth. And so we hope that that will drive exchange and create utility around the Lumi, so people can then begin to use this model or using this model and applying them to other products and services that can be distributed across the community. Now, we really do need the emails to be working. We need to be able to onboard people quickly. Registration needs to be smooth so that we can grow as we actually do plan to grow this year. So it's about growth, value to the community, driving exchange, and creating the opportunity for ownership. And that is one of the things that Brother B is doing where he is at the moment in terms of driving access. So, but that is, that's really the idea. And I think I'm going to stop there and just show you, how do you get the bulk of 10? You would simply go to, you would simply go online here on Connect. So you'll go to Connect. Now you notice that on Connect, we've actually arranged this in some kind of order. If I can make that bigger. So first is a mailbox. And this is actually in the order that you should get these in order to make your journey smooth. So once you have a mailbox that works, and you don't have to use a Swifin Mailbox, but that will give you the smoothest experience, then you can create your Connect account, then you can create your account, then you can create your Transact account, and you can start working and using these services seamlessly. So for the mailbox, to get the mailbox bundle, you need to go here and click on buy bundle. And then the bundle will come up. It says minimum is 1 piece, it's $10. You would also notice here that it says you will earn 10 AKX. So this will cost 10 AKX. The 10 AKX is deducted directly from your account when you do this transaction. You don't necessarily have to do anything with it, but before you make this purchase, you have to make sure you have a minimum of 10 AKX in your account. Now, remember that in fact, every time a member logs in, you get AKX anyway. So AKX gets awarded to community members as they interact on a daily basis. And there are many people across the community who have several AKX. Many people have tried to transfer or have already transferred about 100 values of AKX that are more than 100 into their Swifin account. And then you can transfer from your account into Transact, if you will. But when you buy this, you see here, it says 100% discount on some products. That 100% discount is on the single mailbox. And you get for the bundle of 10, you get 10 of these coupons, okay? This should be 10 in number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this would be emailed to the email address that you use to purchase. So whenever you do this transaction, you need to check your email. Once the process is complete, then you will receive those coupons directly. And then you can then go on to sell each of those coupons for $2 and 2 Lumi, okay? You can collect the Lumi either directly on Connect, you can collect the Lumi on Transact, or you can collect the Lumi on the Swifin account. The US dollar equivalent, you would have to collect that in the local currency equivalent where you are. But it is very important that it does not exceed the $2, okay? We want to maintain decorum and order in terms of access. And remember, this is a one-time cost in order to provision the mailbox for each person. When it comes to using your coupon, you would have to come online. Once you receive the coupon, you have paid for the coupon, you need to come online and go to mailbox and then go to buy mailbox single. When you click on buy mailbox single, there would then be an option for you to enter the coupon. If you are paying with a card, then you have to pay the full price, I'm afraid, on a bank card. But if you've bought from another member of the community and just paid $2 and 2 Lumi, then you can add that to your shopping cart, and then it will give you the opportunity to enter the coupon that you need to enter. It is telling me that minus 10 AKX because I have the bundle as well in my cart. So if I remove the bundle, then I'll just be left with the actual single mailbox, as you can see. And then you have to enter the coupon here and then click on apply. Once you enter the coupon, you would not have to pay anything else, but just carry on and process the transaction that way. Okay. For those who have USX in their account, you don't actually have to use a bank card. You can use a USX to make the payment. If you have a USX balance, it will accept that as well. And when you go to the cart, when you go to checkout, it will give you the option. It'll give you the option to pay either with your you pay with your bank card. This account I'm using that I've logged in doesn't have any USX, so it's only giving the option to pay with a bank card, in which case you'll have to enter the bank card, the bank details here and pay. But if you have entered your coupon, then of course you will have paid the full price because it's 100% off. All right, so I think I'm going to stop there, and then we can take some time and take questions. Those who have placed their orders, perhaps we can look into them and just make sure that they know how this works. For those who have bought bundles before, I would like you to confirm that you have received your tokens. This would have been sent to you by email. If you haven't received those, please raise a ticket, or you can point out here and we can try to deal with it as soon as we can. But remember that we are doing this in response to the problem of email delivery, which is quite a big one. And we cannot get overwhelmed. We just need to find practical solutions and take the actions that we need to take to make sure that people can have access and that we can sustain the kind of growth that we want to see this year. Okay. And of course, giving the opportunity for community members to actually generate some fiat where they are. So to put it quite simply, if you spent $100 on mailboxes, then of course you can't expect to get the $100 back plus $100 profit, because it's 100% the way that it's structured at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we can go through any questions. We hope to spend the next few days going through this process to make sure that everybody understands how it works, everybody can use it, and everybody can then begin to use it to drive adoption and drive growth where you are. We can't have any excuses to say that, well, the email doesn't work, the confirmation email is not coming through, it is delayed and so forth. We cannot have those delays, because those delays are actually impeding the rate at which we can make the progress that we need to make to grow the community and make sure that we are reaching everybody from wherever people are. We need to drive access, drive adoption, and really drive growth this year. Okay, so I'm going to stop and perhaps we can take some questions. So back to you, Brother Mbi, if there are any other comments to add to that, or if I've left out anything, then we can go back and try to cover it. But that is, in summary, a box of 10, $1 each plus 1 Lumi, individually $2 each plus 2 Lumi. And if you are getting it direct, you'd have to pay with a bank card at 50.88 US dollars per mailbox. This is really just a disincentive so that people can get it from other community members. And that way we can scale, because we know the vast majority of our users do not actually have bank cards. So those who are buying in bulk will obviously have a mechanism or a way of acquiring with a bank card somehow. So thank you very much. And over to you, Brother Mbi.
Greetings, Dr. Lance. It's Pauline here. I'm not sure where Brother Mbi is. Maybe he's on a call or something. We do have 2 people with their hands up. So would you like us to go to them?
Do that. Thank you.
Okay. Zachariah Joel, can you unmute yourself, please, sir?
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Can you ask your question and see if Dr. Linus will look into it for you?
Yeah, my question, honestly, I'm having a big issue with the Transact account.
Okay.
What is the issue with Transact?
Yeah, I create a Transact account, but I can no longer log in anymore. And each time I try to log in, it shows that wrong password. I forgot password to request for a new password. They will send the password. And if I enter again, the thing would not work. That is my issue.
Okay, I'm sure we can address that. We'll look into that and see what is causing that problem. Is there anybody else online who is having problems accessing Transact?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, and me also, Dr. Linus.
I still haven't received my my verification email.
You haven't received verification email. Now, receipt of verification email is something that we know because of the delays in delivering messages. I have been on a number of training sessions in the past few days, and each time that we have used a Swifin Mailbox, the verifications have come right through. We have been able to click through. We have been able to activate the messages and the accounts without any problem. The issue of delayed delivery of emails through third parties is actually a real one, and it's one of our greatest challenges right now, and that's why we are recommending that people use mailboxes. Yeah, that's all I can suggest, that perhaps we go down that route.
Okay, so you're saying that I have to get a Swifin mailbox.
If you have created an account and the verification email hasn't come through, right?
Yes.
And what did you use? Hotmail, Gmail?
No, I use Proton Mail.
You used Proton Mail. I mean, all I can suggest is that you check your mail again and see if it has now been delivered. When we came up with the solution for the mailbox, it was actually based on data, raw data that we are seeing with messages being rejected, either being rejected or being delayed or not being delivered at all. And instead of just sitting back and holding our heads and saying, okay, what do we do now? We had to find a solution, and the solution is to have our own messaging service.
Okay.
Check again, and if it's there, it's there. If it's not there, then perhaps you might want to consider getting a Swifin mailbox so that you can use it. It will solve your problem, because I have seen it solve many problems.
Okay, so how do I do it? I'll have to change, because I already submitted one application already, and I was told not to submit another application, or else I'm going to have 2 accounts.
Yes, please don't submit another one. The email address can be changed. Are you not able to log in at all?
No, I'm not able to log in at all.
Okay, have you tried a password reset despite the fact that you did not receive a verification email?
Yes, I've tried that several times.
And the password has not been delivered?
Yeah, and it's still giving me the same message.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I can suggest is perhaps we try and use the Swifin mailbox and see if that addresses the problem. I am confident it will address the problem, because the delays are real. I mean, these are real. I hope that answers your question. Sister
All right, thank
Pauline,
you. I'm going to
move
try
on
it.
to the next.
Sorry, Dr. Linus, what were you saying?
I was just saying, I hope that answers the concern that Creative Dread. Sorry, what's your real name? Creative.
Yeah, Kemuel.
Yes, Kemi. I was just saying, Kemi, I hope that answers, at least provide some clarification. I know it's not the solution.
Yes, it does. So I'm going to try the Swifin mail.
Okay.
And I hope, Zachariah Joel, I hope that answers your question also. Well, he doesn't appear to be there. Okay, so let's go to our next question, which is, forgive me, because I can't pronounce your surname. Saloma. Sorry, thank you, ma'am.
Mahmoud Saloma.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Pauline. Good evening, everyone in the house, and good evening, Doc.
Good evening.
My question is, how do I get my daily daily limits on Loomis from my Swifin Connect to pay another member? How do I get that upgraded, because it's always telling me that I've reached my daily limit, no matter how small the amount I try to transfer.
All right, that's on account.
On my account to the other account, it just can't go through.
Okay, that's fine. The limit can be uplifted, it can be increased as long as you have provided all your KYC information on Transact.
I have, it's active. I have
You
my
and it's been
Transact account.
approved?
Yes.
Okay.
I've even transferred from AKL to Transact.
Oh, and that has been successful. That's fantastic.
Very.
If you post just give me your Swifin ID and we can change that right away. It's fine.
The 78?
May I ask you to just type it and send it to me direct, please?
Just on the chat box, right?
Just type it on the messages on chat.
Okay.
And send it to me direct. Send me your Swifin ID and I will go in there and have a look for you. And we should be able to upgrade that for you. No problem.
I'll do that, Doc. I'll do that. Thank you so much. So it's only when the Transact account is active that you can increase or you can pay someone.
Yes,
or you can increase your
Transact account has to be active and the KYC has to be validated. The
Oh,
reason
mine is
we do that,
validated.
it is to protect your Lumi so that nobody else can go into your account and start transferring Lumi from your account.
Okay, I am active. I am active in the doc.
Very good. So that in that case we can increase it. No problem.
Okay, I will go to chat and type in my Swifin now.
Okay.
Super. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sister Pauline.
That's all right. Please remember, do that privately to Dr. Linus. We all don't need your Swifin number on the public chat box. Okay, ma'am?
I don't know how I do that.
Okay.
Go
to Dr. Linus, his name. Yeah, and click on his name. And in a little box, in a little chat box, you will see just his name. So that means you are talking wholly and solely just to him.
I'll do that. Thank you so much.
Not to everyone.
Yeah, okay, thanks, ma'am.
Right. You're welcome, ma'am. You're welcome. The next one is Nagusi Zulu. Nagusi Zulu.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Thanks. Please do not shout out because I don't know where you are when you start shouting out at me. So Nagusi Zulu, can you please go ahead and ask your question, sir?
Okay, thank you very much. My question is also on Transact. I tried to open a Transact account, but the system queried my email address, and it was saying my email address is in use, which of course it should be in use because that's the email address that I'm using.
Please, can you please mute yourself if you are not. Please.
Okay, so I just wanted to find out if what is the problem, because now the email address that I'm using is the same that is in my account, but when I'm trying to open a Transact account, then it queries the email address to say it's in use.
Okay.
So what is the problem there?
Right.
All right. It's not actually a problem.
Dr. Linus, can I just interject?
Yes.
Mr. Patrick, can you please mute yourself, or I'm going to have to put you in the waiting room. Please mute yourself for me, please, because you have got something on your systems that's overriding. You need to mute yourself, please, sir. Because it's not allowing me to mute him.
Is that okay?
No, not that Patrick. Nagis Bazaria Patrick.
Is that Patrick?
Yeah, no, you're okay, sir. You can mute yourself. You're fine. Thank you very much. Sorry about that, Dr. Linus. Can you go ahead?
That's okay. Thank you. I was just explaining that whenever you see that your email address is already in use, it means your first attempt at creating the account was actually successful. All you have to do is try to log in, okay?
Okay.
So your account has been created and it's there. So just use your email address and your password that you selected and try to log in.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Just a second question. I don't know, but this one is about registration for other members. I don't know if I can ask it now or later on.
Go ahead.
All right. I registered about 8 people, but those people are not receiving any emails. But I've checked their emails; they are correct, and there's nothing wrong with their email addresses. But now, when I'm registering them, I would expect that they would receive a verification email, so that I know that they are registered, they have got accounts. But I'm not getting any response from their side. So I don't know
Yes.
whether it's just a systemic problem or what happened.
Okay.
There.
That's the same issue. That is the same issue. Some third-party email providers are delaying the delivery of messages.
Oh.
And some third-party providers are actually blocking the delivery of messages. And so it is hard to tell whether it's one either been blocked or two it's been delayed, in which case it may still be sent later on, or the mailbox is actually not correct, and our system cannot deliver the message into an incorrect or non-existent mailbox. So same problem. It's a huge problem. It's a big problem. It's one of our greatest challenges at the moment in terms of actually quickly onboarding lots of people. But we will overcome it. All you have to do is make sure you get your Swifin Mailbox.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome, sir. Brother Patrick, greetings to you, Brother Patrick. Would you like to come in? You might be able to say something towards what's going on, because I know that you deal with that quite a lot. So, Brother Patrick?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sister Pauline. While on courses there, when you talk about registration, are you registering people for Swifin account, Connect account, or is it Transact? Which account are you registering, brother?
That's Mr. Zulu. Mr. Zulu?
Maybe he's gone already.
No, he's still here. It's just that he's muted. So maybe he doesn't realize you're actually asking him a question. I'll see if I can locate him.
Okay, we can go ahead to other questions, my sister, if he's not responding.
Okay, thank you, Brother Patrick.
Thank you.
We have our French-speaking person here. Is Brother Mb still on board? Because I can't see him. Yes, he's still there. Brother Mb, can you assist, please? Okay. I'm going to go to Vincent next. Vincent Okoro. I'm not ignoring you, Beyond. I will get Saeed. I will get someone that can assist us to ensure that we answer your question correctly. In the meantime, Vincent Okoro, please unmute yourself.
Good evening, everybody in the house.
Yeah, good evening, sir. How can we help you?
Oh, I use this opportunity to thank each and every person, more especially the management, for your efforts bringing us back into the training in this new year. My question is concerning on the box mail and registering some of our people into the mailbox, in which most of the locals that we are dealing with here, they don't have access to Android phone. And I don't know, this mailbox, can I use my own Android phone to open mailbox for them while they are with me?
The answer is yes, because it's an online application. You can access the online application for the mailbox on any device. So the answer is yes.
Then second question is, I trying to log in using a system, not Android phone, but is it that I'm missing how to log in? Whenever I put the meeting ID, it will only pump up that it is incorrect.
Oh, so is that when you're trying to join a meeting or when you're trying to get into a mailbox?
Yes, even when I'm trying to join the meeting using a laptop, but still the system is showing me incorrect. I don't know. Whether you can educate me on how to go about it.
Okay, the best way to actually join the meeting, which I do use this very often, so I can testify that it works. I typically always go to connect, and then at the very top of the page, it will say daily briefing or briefings. Let me share my screen and show you.
Okay.
So if you go to the top, you look at the top of the page, you will see this.
Exactly.
Okay. Say briefings, briefing from 23rd of Jan 2023. Usually I just click here. When I click here, a form would open and then it will ask you for a password. Enter this password, which is endless one.
Endless one.
And it will get you straight through.
All right.
Okay. I use this a lot. Whenever I need to join the meeting, I go to connect and I click this link and it takes me straight into the meeting.
Okay. All right. I'll give it a try. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Vincent. Thank you very much for your question. The next person is Boniface Joseph. Boniface Joseph, can you unmute? Welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, sir. How
Good
can we
evening.
help you?
Even though the question I have has been in a way touched, but I just want to have some clarity regards to this not receiving validation link from Swifin in terms of registration. Now, the challenge is, for instance, I have registered on Connect with the email. I registered Swifin account with the same email. Now I'm coming to Transact, trying to use the same email, but there is no validation link. So how do one go about it? Does it warrant that I have to use, just as suggested now, use the Swifin Mailbox now, and then apply for change of email per se, you know? I just need some clarity on that.
Okay. Now, if you have your own mailbox that you have used successfully on account and you have used it successfully on Connect, really there is no reason why it should not also work on Transact. Okay. So it may just be the case that with Transact, the messages are delayed and you just check a few seconds or a few minutes later, and you should have it in your inbox. If it is the fact that the third-party provider for your email service is actually delaying the delivery of the message, then you don't expect, I would not expect it to work on account, and I would not expect it to work on Connect. I would not expect it to work on Transact. The behavior should be the same on all three. But in any case, if you have a Swifin mailbox, the experience is much better. That is what we have observed. I have been in many training sessions, onboarding people, and we have been able to successfully onboard people live. And the registration messages always the verification messages always come through, and we are able to click and we are able to verify. And this is when we are using the Swifin mailbox. So if you are having difficulties, then again, the solution is to get a Swifin mailbox. If your mailbox is working well and it's just a delay, then just try again later, usually, then it should be fine.
So what really happened, this is almost a month now that I did the registration, and I waited for the validation link. It didn't come through. I raised a ticket. They responded that I should still wait till now that we're discussing. I've not received validation
All right.
link.
What I would suggest you do is just try to log in with that, with the email address and the password that is specified. Just go into Transact and try to log in, okay? And see what the systems see what the system says.
It's all right.
And if the problem still persists, then we may try to find a way of regenerating or resending the validation link. But if the problem of you receiving the validation link in the first place is because the email is not being delivered into your inbox, then resending will not solve the problem. Okay. So you need to consider getting a Swifin Mailbox for peace of mind. The price that is attached to it is a one-time cost. There is no additional cost ever, at least for now. That's what is in place. So it's a one-time setup cost, which allows you to have it. That mailbox, the Swifin Mailbox, doesn't have to be your main communication mailbox. It could just be for transactional messages, making sure your password resets are coming in on a timely basis, that your commission payments are coming in and you are able to see what is going on with your account whenever you need to. You can always delete the messages later on. It doesn't have to be a big mailbox, and it doesn't need to be your primary mailbox that you channel everything to. But certainly, as it relates to using Swifin, it will provide you with a much better and much improved experience in terms of access. That's what we have observed.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I'd just like to very quickly testify that to everyone here, to be honest, I was having the same issues that a number of us have all experienced somewhere along the line. And what I did, I created my mailbox and I then substitute, once it was actually activated and okay, I then went in and changed all my accounts. That is my Swifin account, my Connect account, and my Transact account to my Swifin account, my Swifin Mailbox email address. And I can say that I have not had any issues at all in receiving my communications from Swifin. Whereas from the Gmail, I was having delays, 2 and 3 days and 4 days delay before I received the first email that was sent out many, many moons ago. So it is worthwhile if you are able to get it. If you know someone who is in the position that can buy a bulk, get them to buy the bulk and you buy it from them. If you're not in a position to do it yourself, or if you are, then buy the single, but it's worthwhile getting the bulk and then reselling that bulk back to your community. It does work and it does make life a lot easier. And my emails, even a reset comes through it. I didn't, please don't unmute yourself. Yeah, I did a reset. And because the screen didn't change, I pressed the reset, submit again, submit. When I went to my inbox, there was 3 resets waiting for me. And I thought, oh, okay. And that was how quick it was. It just reset my password straight away and the information was there. So it's really and truly worthwhile for your, if you can do it, to get it, because I've got it and it works fine. It works a lot easier and there's a lot less lagging time to get the information. So I just wanted to pass that on to everyone. Okay, the next question is from Brother Patrick. Go ahead, Brother Patrick.
Thank you, Sister Pauline. I can also testify
before you go any further, if anyone keeps unmuting themselves, I will put you in the waiting room. I am letting everyone know now. I'm not going to continuously do this. If anyone keeps unmuting themselves, I will put you in the waiting room. Right, so you're going to be the first person. Right. And that goes for anyone else. Yeah. If you keep unmuting yourself, you will be put in the waiting room. We will respect each other and what each other has to say, because we're here to learn from each other and experiences from each other. We will not disrespect each other in any way, in any form, not on this platform. Sorry about that, Dr. Linus. Brother Patrick, please go ahead. I do apologize.
I thought Dr. Linus wanted to say something.
No, I was just confirming what Sister Pauline was saying, that I do the same. I use my Swifin Mailbox, and it's very swift, very quick, very reliable, and I can testify to that.
You. Since today, the main agenda has been mailboxes. I would want to bring to Dr. Linus' attention that we actually have a number of tickets that have been escalated, and they are specifically about mailbox. I don't know if you may be available to go to tickets, or if you would prefer me to share my screen, since you said today may be the best time for us to look at some of those queries with regards to mailboxes.
Dr. Linus, can you unmute yourself, please? I don't know, you muted yourself because I did not mute you.
Thank you. I didn't realize I muted. I did mute myself. Thank you. Yes, Brother Patrick, since there are people here with hands up, let's deal with the questions and
okay.
The issues of tickets. We can obviously go back into the tickets and respond to the tickets perhaps immediately after this meeting. But nonetheless, if there are any tickets relating to mailboxes, I'm aware that those who had bought mailboxes, they will have received coupons by now in their emails because we have processed them. I know there was a ticket from Akige Paul, and I can see Akige is putting his hand up. Akige's mailbox has been created. Information was sent on the ticket, and that ticket has now been considered to be resolved and closed. So I think a lot of those tickets have actually already been attended to, but I will go back there and have a look after this meeting.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Patrick. Akige Paul, can you just confirm that you have received the vouchers for your email, please? Akige Paul, can you unmute?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you confirm
right.
that? Can you confirm that you have received the vouchers for the mailbox that you ordered?
Yeah. Yes, I have received the mailbox, but probably I was ordering the mailbox for my sister. So I have bought my own since last year. So when I was trying to activate her mailbox, then I used my Connect as a payment method. Then I mistakenly did not correct the names that I was ordered from the mailbox before, and the mailbox has assigned by my name. So perhaps despite the signing for my name, but I would like to know the method of how are we order in bulk for the other users, because I have many other people that are willing, then we will contribute ourselves and then order in bulk.
Okay.
Okay. That's a very important question. Thank you very much, Paul. And I can assure you that the mailbox that was assigned to you, which was intended for your sister, nothing is lost. All we would have to do is delete that one and recreate another one for your sister. So if you can post in the chat the first name and the last name for your sister, then we can do that. We can do that right away. That's not a problem. Thank you very much. Now, the issue that Paul highlights is a very important one. So the process for ordering the email is that you buy a coupon and then you log in yourself into Connect and buy a single mailbox using the coupon. so that you provide your first name and your last name. The mailbox can then be created based on your own first name and your last name, and only based on the order that you submitted yourself. Now, if you are submitting it on behalf of somebody else, then you need to put a comment in the order saying that this order is for this person, and you need to include the first name and the last name so that the mailbox can be created and allocated to the right person. Our mailbox service is dedicated for the improvement of the quality of accessing our services. It's not something that is available to the public. And if you are not a member of this community, you don't need to come and get one. And in fact, we would not give you one. We would not necessarily sell one to you. But if you are a member of the community and you want one, then yes, you can get one. So a prerequisite requirement is that you have at least a Connect profile, or at least you can place the order directly yourself on Connect so that we can capture your first name and your second name from that.
Okay, Dr. Linus, can I just ask you a question on that?
Yes.
If I purchase, I purchased 10 boxes, a bundle of 10.
Yes.
I now want to sell one to Brother Patrick.
Yes.
Now I've sold one to Brother Patrick. He will go into purchase a mailbox. He will put in the voucher reference number.
Yes.
What is the password that he would use?
Oh no, there is no password.
Okay.
There is no password is required. He just needs to go to buy single mailbox, and then he needs to enter that number. That voucher, that coupon represents 100% of the price of a single mailbox. So they don't have to pay anything else.
Yeah, no,
not AKX, not US dollars.
That's fine, because I know on my mailbox there's a password. So how would the person then put, or the person just creates the password they want?
Okay, I see what you mean. Your mailbox has a password once it has been created and allocated to you.
Yes.
So you use the voucher in the ordering process. You submit that voucher to place an order for a single mailbox. That single mailbox then needs to be activated for you, and you will be notified that it has been activated. At that point, you will also be provided with a password, which you can use to access it.
Right. I just hope everybody understood that. Makes sense. Okay. So it's after Brother Patrick's received my receipt, I've given him the voucher, he's done the registration, and he's gone in and he's put the voucher reference in. That would then be populated to the relevant department. The relevant department will then process that mailbox, and then he would then be notified that the mailbox has been created, and this is the username stroke password.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct. And
Okay.
please, when you receive your coupons, don't give the coupons out to anybody. Only give it to the person who has bought it, and only one at a time. Once it is used, you will know that it's been used, and this can only be used once. It is for one-time use only, and only towards the purchase of a single mailbox. You cannot use those coupons for anything else. And they would remain open and valid for 28 days. So try to make sure that you distribute them within 28 days. This is just to manage the flow of the creation of the coupons and the use of the coupons throughout the system.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank
The next question is from Ekataya Patrick. Patrick, yes, thank you, sir. Can you, yes, you've unmuted. Please, ask your question, sir. Your connection is not clear at all. We're not hearing you. Kataya, we're not hearing you. If you can put your question in the chat, and then we're not hearing you at all. Can anyone else hear him? Mr. Patrick, please can you put your oh, not you, Brother Patrick.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm that we are not hearing him.
Yeah, thank you, sir, because I couldn't hear him.
His connection is very bad.
Editor Patrick, please put your question, if you can hear me, please put your question in the chat and I will make sure it's read out. You're not coming through at all clearly to us, so we're not hearing what you're saying. I do apologize for that. Please put your question in the chat and I will come back to you. The next one is Janelle Campbell, please.
Hi, good evening, Pauline.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I hope you guys are well that side. I would like to know, I've done my
Can I ask you to hold, the line just for a moment? Those people who keep unmuting themselves, I will put you in the waiting room. Do not unmute yourself and disrespect anybody else that's on this platform. We do not work like that. Okay, so please do not unmute yourself unless you are asked a question. I do apologize, Janelle and Dr. Linus, please go ahead.
No, it's fine. Like I said, I done my KYC in my Transact and it said successful. But now the problem I have is that as soon as I do my AKL Transact, if I transact anything, it comes back and it says denied.
Yes, it does. That's I can speak if you don't mind. Who is that? Audi, if you unmute yourself again, you will go in the waiting room with no hesitation. Please do not unmute yourself, Audi. Right, Janelle, I do apologize. Yes, I can tell you exactly what's happened in regards to your KYC. If you care to communicate with me, because I don't want to say on a public platform, I will take you through everything that's going on with your KYC and the reasons why your transaction was rejected. All right, ma'am? Hello, Janelle, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? I can't hear you. Yeah, did you hear me?
Yes, I heard you.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things in regards to your KYC that needs to be highlighted, not just for your purpose, but if you're helping others,
yes,
that way you can ensure that they do theirs correctly, or else theirs will also be rejected. So if you would give me a call, and I will take you through exactly your reasons why your KYC was rejected. Okay, ma'am?
Okay, it's not a problem. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Also, I would like to know, we had people by us that helped us register, but what happened is that, like the one girl who helped people register, she used her email account for all of them, you understand? So now, like my two aunts, I'm trying to fix this because what's happening now is that they don't get any messages to say that there's how much their stimulus are. Also, if I log into the one's Transact, it says credential doesn't match and her passwords and everything is correct because I've opened that for her. And I would also like to know, how do you change your email from your Connect the same as your email when we registered on the Swifin platform on Swifin account?
Okay. Which one are you trying to change it to? Are you trying to change it to the same email you have on your Swifin account?
Yes.
Right. On your Connect account, if you go into About.
Okay.
Yeah, you have an option there. You just put and you can change details on there and it gives you what details. You just got to ensure that you put the correct password in and it permits you to change various details that's on your Connect account. on your transact account, you got a little square. I think it's in the top, it's in the top left-hand corner, top right-hand corner, I do apologize, where it says, change password, I think it says there. You can click on that and it gives you an option to change certain details. That's how you can change them to what you want them to be.
Okay.
All right.
What I done was I went on to what was this now? When I did you see, when they registered them, they used one email. I tried to change that into their own email accounts that I have opened up for them on their phones, but it doesn't want to do anything. The person who registered them's email stays on there.
Oh, so at the moment it's sitting with someone else's email address on, and the person that
Yes.
registered them, not their personal email address.
No, not their personal email, and I would like to change it to their own personal email.
Right, raise a ticket, yeah, or get them to raise a ticket, even better, so it comes under their name.
You see, they are elderly people, so they don't really know
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can go into their, once you can get onto the, with them being present.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's always why that they are there. Go onto their Connect account so that they are aware that you are doing it on their behalf,
yes,
and raise a ticket from their Connect account. Yeah. So that way it will come up with their information, asking for the changes to take place.
Okay, Pauline, they will be by me tomorrow. Is it possible if I can give you a call as soon as I come home, and then I will get them to come to me, and then you can just show me how to do a ticket, how to raise a ticket.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Janelle.
Very lovely evening.
And you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Nanan Jude Yeo. Nanan.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How can we help you?
I just want to thank you so much for the wonderful daily briefing that you have just resumed. My question is about the mailbox. There are some people that we have already updated their account up to the Transact account. We have already migrated them up to the Transact account. So are we to also bought a mailbox for them so that we can create a ticket for the change of the mailbox, or we should just leave it? Those that will update the account up to the Transact account.
Dr. Linus, did you understand that question?
Yes, I understand. If you have an account and you are receiving messages and communication satisfactorily, then you don't need to change anything. Just keep it like that. The problem might come in when they forget their password and you need to do a password reset, and you can't, they would not, and they are not able to receive the password. That's when it becomes an issue. Otherwise, it's fine. Now, if they do transactions on account, typically they would be notified of the transactions. If there is a problem delivering messages to them, then things could be going on with their account without their knowledge. I'm not saying that will be the case. If they did a transaction themselves, then of course they will know they did a transaction themselves, and they therefore don't need to be notified. But if they've received a commission as a result of a transaction that has been done by somebody else, then that message might not get to them. Okay. In which case, it is a good idea to update it with the Swifin Mailbox. But if you are fine and you are comfortable and you don't have issues, you can log into your account normally, no problems, then there is no need to change it. You can leave it like that until you need to.
Okay. All right.
Okay. You're welcome.
Okay, the next one is, thank you very much, Mr. Nanu. The next one is Constant. Oh, what? Constance changed her mind. Okay. I still need a French-speaking person that can assist me with our French-speaking compatriot, please.
I can try.
Okay, that's lovely.
Um,
Theo, Mr. Sadie or Sadai, can you unmute for me, please?
Bonsoir. Bonsoir.
Oh, I do apologize. Constance is now, no, hold on just a, can you just hold on just a second, Mr. Theo, Mr. Sadie. Constance is now come on board. I just saw her. Is she still here? I do apologize because I did mention her name earlier on, but she seemed to have come off.
I can see she's on, but her hand is no longer up.
Yeah, exactly. Never mind. Go ahead, Mr. Sadie. Go ahead, sir.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Ok, je salue vous tous. Bonsoir. Ok, je viens au niveau de Mailbox. Je veux avoir un peu de l'éclaircissement. Comment faire pour acheter ce compte? Quelles procédures que nous pouvons faire? Parce que j'ai vu que deux comptes. Il y a un compte de USD et plus AKL.
D'accord.
Les deux minimum là, comment on peut le faire?
Pour acheter un mailbox avec 10, pour acheter 10, tu dois avoir minimum 10 AKL sur Connect, sur ton compte Connect. Et tu dois utiliser un carte bancaire pour payer le reste en US dollars. Donc, c'est 10 US dollars plus 10 AKL. D'accord?
Maintenant, si la personne n'a pas le compte bancaire, comment
si
on peut
la personne n'a pas un compte bancaire ou il n'y a pas un carte bancaire, il doit, il faut vérifier s'il y a quelqu'un d'autre qui peut acheter avec son compte bancaire, il peut le payer en monnaie locale.
Maintenant, j'ai eu en plus aussi l'importance, j'ai vu là-bas le simple et double, la boîte simple là. Quel est le rôle des deux?
La boîte simple.
Oui.
Si la boîte simple, tu dois acheter, je veux partager mon écran un instant pour expliquer encore qu'est-ce qu'on a déjà expliqué un instant. Donc, si tu achètes 10, on vous donne 10 coupons pour acheter les boîtes simples. Donc, un coupon donne la possibilité d'acheter ça. Donc, sans carte, sans carte bancaire et aussi sans AKL. Mais pour acheter ça, la personne qui veut ce coupon doit te payer 2 US dollars équivalent plus 2 LUMI. Bien?
Oui.
Tu as bien compris?
Oui, là, j'ai bien compris, oui.
D'accord.
2 dollars plus équivalent de 2 LUMI aussi.
Oui.
Si la personne voit c'était la boîte simple.
La personne avec ça, avec cette coupon, il peut acheter le boîte simple, oui. Mais si tu vas acheter le boîte simple avec ton carte bancaire, ça coûte ça. C'est plus cher pour acheter directement seulement un boîte mail. Donc, c'est mieux acheter à quelqu'un d'autre pendant la communauté qui a acheté le minimum de 10. D'accord? Mais pour acheter le minimum de 10, tu dois avoir le minimum de 10 AKL parce que ça c'est pour un mailbox. Et chaque fois que tu payes ça, on te donne 10 coupons. Chaque coupon, tu peux acheter un box simple avec chaque coupon. D'accord?
Oui, oui.
Merci.
Was everything answered okay, Dr. Linus?
I believe it is.
Thank you, sir. Hey, I didn't know you were so fluent, honestly.
Oh, goodness.
Man of many talents, man of many talents. That's all I can say.
Thank you.
We've got Mr. Edea Patrick back. I don't know if his internet's got any better. Do you want to try again, Mr. Edena Patrick? And see if you can come through this time?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, beautiful.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I discovered that the volume is low and was reduced.
Okay. How can we help you?
Good evening, Dr. Linus.
Good evening. Good evening.
I received an email from you where you said I should send the list of those I wanted to buy a mailbox for. And I've replied to you almost a week now, about 20 names.
Yes, I've got that, and you've recently sent a spreadsheet. Now, in that time, we have actually been working on the overall process of distributing these emails because it needs to be scalable.
Okay.
We were toying with the idea initially that people should submit a list, but we've realized that that is not going to be very efficient. So what you do, if you already have USX, then you can go online and pay with USX. You don't need to use a bank card. You just pay directly with USX online. You can buy a bundle with USX. When you buy the bundle with USX, you will then receive 10 coupons in your email. You can then give each of those coupons to each person on that list so that they can come and order an individual mailbox, because the coupon gives you 100% off the price of a single mailbox.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Okay, let me try
That way we can link the creation of the mailbox to an actual order of a single mailbox. The only difference is that the single mailbox is paid with a coupon that entitles them with 100% off the price.
Okay.
So if I may just recommend, and if you would allow me to, please go online, and you can do that right now, and just place an order for if you have 20, then you need to place 2 orders for 10. Okay. And for each of those orders, you can pay with the USX in your Connect account. You don't need a bank card. You just pay directly with USX.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. And that's much better. Keep using this device. Lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is Madhu.
Bonsoir. Hello.
Oh, Dr. Linus, this is for you.
Bonsoir, bonsoir, Madhu.
Bonsoir.
Guys, I'm here now. I'm out of the session.
Voilà. Merci.
Welcome back, Doctor. Sorry, Mr. Adu. Welcome back, Dr. Ambi. We have a French-speaking person. Dr. Linus has been doing a marvelous job. I don't know if he wants to continue or he wants to give it over to you, but Mr.
I will hand it over very gladly to Brother Ambi. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Adu, please go ahead with your question.
Oui, bonsoir.
Oui, bonsoir. Allez-y.
Voilà, merci. Moi, j'aimerais vraiment avoir des informations concernant le Transact. Parce que nous aussi, il y a des gens qui n'ont pas encore de compte Transact et pourtant, ils ont envoyé déjà leur email. Ils ont déjà lancé la création de compte. D'ailleurs, même, il y a des gens qui ont reçu le message de vérification, d'autres qui n'ont pas reçu. Voilà, mon souci en est que chaque fois, en tant que leader aussi, chaque fois les gens rebattent à côté de moi pour me demander si je peux les aider pour accéder à leur compte parce qu'ils n'ont pas reçu le mail de vérification. Voilà, j'ai vérifié, il y a certains, j'ai vérifié leur spam, j'ai vu ça, d'autres, j'ai vérifié leur spam, je ne vois pas. Donc, alors, j'aimerais vraiment vous revenir. D'ailleurs, moi, je fais des fois des tickets, mais on pose la question en faisant comprendre que c'est le problème à leur niveau. Donc, maintenant, est-ce que pensez-vous vraiment à essayer de nous trouver des solutions pour recevoir quand même les messages de vérification concernant le compte Transact? Merci. Mais quelle est la solution aussi le plus efficace sans passer par mailbox? S'il y en a.
Brother Ambi? I think Brother Ambi may be taking a call. Dr. Linus, I don't know if you can come in and
You hear me?
assist. Oh, we can hear you now, Brother Ambi. Yes, sorry.
OK. Donc, en général, tout le monde doit recevoir les emails de vérification. S'il y a les gens qui n'ont pas reçu les mails de vérification, il faudrait qu'on regarde. Donc, mais si vous ouvrez le compte et le mail de vérification ne vient pas, il faut donner peut-être 5-10 minutes et puis checker et entrer dans la boîte mail encore pour regarder, pour consulter la boîte pour regarder, parce que normalement, ça doit être livré. Vous voyez? Ça doit être livré. Je ne comprends pas, je ne sais pas pourquoi, mais je pense que ce que je peux faire, c'est que au courant de la journée de demain, je peux travailler avec toi. C'est qui est en train de parler là? C'est Moudou?
C'est Moudou.
C'est Moudou. Ah, OK, Moudou, pas de problème. Je t'appelle le matin. Comme ça, on va regarder ça ensemble. Et il faut préparer quelques... si vous avez les noms des gens qui ont envoyé, qui ont déjà lancé l'enregistrement, mais n'ont pas reçu la vérification, tu me fais signe. Tu amènes leur nom. Comme ça, on va travailler. Je vais travailler avec vous pour vérifier ce qui se passe. Parce que normalement, ils doivent déjà recevoir leur mail de vérification.
D'accord. À partir de quelle heure, Inch'Allah?
9h. 9h, c'est 11h. 9h.
D'accord, ça marche, monsieur.
Ouais.
Merci.
OK, super.
Is that being answered, Brother Ambi? Can I go to the next person?
Yes, you can go. You can go to the next person.
Okay, thank you very much. There was a name before that's put their hands down, so I presume that their question be answered. Jeanette. Can you unmute yourself, ma'am? Jeanette 49.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am, very clearly. How can we help you?
Okay, give thanks. My question is, I'm new to the community and I'm just looking for maybe more of a step-by-step as to how to, because I missed the beginning, I do apologize, or if there's a meeting where you guys go over, I know you guys are dealing with some of the back end stuff, but how do I begin?
Right. First, I want to ask you, ma'am, do you already have a Swifin account?
I don't.
Okay, you don't have a Swifin account, you don't have a Connect account, and you don't have a Transact account yet.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Dr. Linus, Brother Ambi?
Yes, I will take this one. So I think the first thing is we need to just find out where the sister is based. In which country?
I'm in the United States. I'm in the States.
Okay, you are in the US. Okay. Sister Pauline.
Yes, sir.
I would suggest that you take her details and just, get in touch with her and give her guidance out of the meeting. But basically, just as a summary, right? As a summary, the first thing you would need to do is to get an email account so that the issues you have heard from some of the members where they don't get verification emails will not be the case with you. The second thing is you would need to have, open a Connect account. You would need to open, a Swifin account to get your 16-digit ID, and then a Transact ID, a Transact account for transactions. So Sister Pauline will get in touch with you. You guys can just exchange details so that you can take her through it, at a time out of the meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Ambi.
Thanks, Sister Pauline.
Thank you.
Chanel, if you want to private chat me with your contact details, and I will contact you sometime during the course of this week. Well, today's what day? Tuesday. During the course of this week, I'll contact you and we'll go through the process.
Okay, and it's Pauline Martin, correct? I'm sorry. Pauline Martin?
That's right. That's me.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Dr. Linus, you were going to say
Yes.
something?
Sister Pauline, if I may just step in just to add one comment.
Yes, sir.
In the interest of Sister Shanette, who just joined us. Just to re-emphasize that we are gathered as a community to address some of the most challenging problems that impact the African continent, the 1.3 billion people within the continent, and its diaspora spread all over the surface of the earth. Some of those two great challenges have been that of financial exclusion, wherein in some countries within continental Africa, as much as 90% of people do not have access. And we have come to the stark realization that it is incumbent upon us to find the solutions that can address these age-old problems that have plagued many people, many households for generations. The other problem is that of having a common instrument of exchanging value so that people can participate in the new modern digital economy. Within continental Africa, for example, there are 54 countries, and across those 54 countries, there are over 40 different currencies, which make it very difficult for the common person on the street to make sense of being able to trade efficiently with your neighbors and the neighboring countries and all the other countries within continental Africa. And why is it important for people to be able to trade with other countries within continental Africa? We are faced with the onset or the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which creates one of the biggest common markets in the world, with a total of about an estimated $3.5 trillion worth of GDP across within that common market. And it is such a huge wealth creation opportunity that if we don't have an ecosystem that is inclusive, that enables everyone to participate, then many people will be left out of that wealth creation opportunity, which has come at this time that many of us are lucky to be alive and around when it is actually going on. So it would be a shame that people who are not given the opportunity to participate. And that's why as a community, we are preoccupied with two things. The first is inclusive access. The second is the use of a common instrument of exchanging value. And that common instrument for our community is the LUMI, which is the African Kingdom's LUMI. At the moment, great effort is being made to try and work with various kingdoms within continental Africa so that the LUMI, the African Kingdom's LUMI, can be adopted as the de facto working currency within those kingdoms. And that is to open up an opportunity of a lifetime to create an ecosystem where people can actually use the LUMI to trade, not just with their neighbors, but with people from other parts of other African countries and the diaspora within this large common market, the African Continental Free Trade Area. I just thought I'd give that background, that backdrop. It has become a movement, Sister Shanette, in that we are relying on the collaborative effort of individuals like you and I, and many of us around this call tonight, to take on the challenge and the responsibility to go and onboard their sister, their brother, their cousin, their mother, their father, their neighbor, their business partners, so that we can create an ecosystem that is inclusive and accessible to all. Thank you, and welcome on board.
Yeah, I just said the same thing. You're welcome, ma'am.
Yes, I appreciate the effort, and I'm absolutely in alignment with all of that. That's why I'm here. It's not just for me. Nothing I do is just for me, because that's not the world I live in. I don't live in a world of the I I live in the world of the we. So I appreciate that. And that's why I'm trying to get clear, because I work with many groups, and I feel like the biggest part is for us to understand the efforts of the collective. And I love that you guys have been doing this. I've been hearing about it for a long time. This is the first time that I actually said, I have to do this, because the organizations that I work with, we need to be able to come into this union as participants in the trade and participants in the commerce and the transition of the energy, all of that. The elevation of our value of each other is part of all of the same thing. And I recognize that. So thank you, sister. I'm looking forward to working with you. And I'm going to send you my information in your messages.
No problem. You're welcome, and welcome aboard. And you know, there's some wonderful things going on. So you've come in at a really good time.
Sorry.
So
Yes.
thank you.
Okay. Give thanks.
Brother Gilbert, can you unmute? Yes, sir. How can we help you?
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Ça va bien?
Oh, no. That's my limit now.
Brother
Ambi.
Paulina. Je sais que
Bonsoir, Gilbert.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir,
Moi, je suis au
Gilbert.
Burundi.
Allez-y.
Bonsoir. Ok, j'ai des questions à poser dans ce moment. Première question. Ok. Première question, c'est concernant les Mailbox. Tant qu'il y a très beaucoup de populations qu'on a enregistrées au Burundi dans l'année 2021. On a eu même smartphone. Alors, dans ce moment, vous demandez des emails comme Mailbox. Alors, concernant la population qu'on a eu même smartphone, de faire ou de créer cet email de Mailbox. Comment fait ça? C'est un grand problème concernant. Comme moi, j'ai enregistré beaucoup de populations, au moins 2000 quelques personnes au Burundi. Mais dans ces populations, il y a des populations n'a eu smartphone pour dire que de créer ces emails dans Mailbox. C'est très difficile de résoudre. Moi, je ne comprends pas comment faire ça. C'est la première question. Deuxième question, c'est concernant la transaction. J'ai eu des amis qui font la transaction dans l'année passée, 2022, du mois d'octobre. La transaction a réussi. Mais il a fait une autre transaction, mais dans ce moment, on peut entrer dans email. Swifin, on a répondu que votre identification n'est pas correcte. Autant que première transaction qu'on a fait dans ce mois d'octobre, on a réussi à faire dans le compte des transactions. Alors, pourquoi que première transaction, deuxième transaction, on a refusé? Tant que c'est le même document, moi, je ne comprends pas. Ok, tu peux me répondre.
C'est les deux questions là-bas.
Oui.
OK. Pour la première question, nous avons une difficulté toujours avec les gens qui n'ont pas de smartphone. Mais cela ne veut pas dire que on va laisser les gens qui n'ont pas de smartphone. En général, ce que nous avons fait d'habitude, c'est que ces gens qui n'ont pas de smartphone ont toujours des gens qui les aident avec leur compte. OK? Il y a un risque, mais il y a aussi une responsabilité qui est sous la tête de celui qui enregistre les gens. Par exemple, vous, Gilbert, qui est leader au Burundi, vous devez, ça c'est l'une des choses clés que vous devez assurer que
Brother Ambi?
ceux qui aident les gens à ouvrir sont responsables. Des gens qui n'ont pas de smartphone. C'est une formation que nous allons faire ensemble dès novembre, dès février.
Alors, comment aider au taquet la population, cette population, comme moi j'ai enregistré, on a un même smartphone. Comment aider pour enregistrer ça? Pour créer.
Ce qu'on va faire, ouais, ce qu'on va faire, c'est que on va maintenant identifier toutes ces personnes dans ta liste et on va changer l'adresse email qu'ils ont maintenant avec le nouveau mail. Vous avez compris? Allô, Gilbert?
Mais c'est très difficile, Linis.
Vous avez compris?
Oui, oui, moi je comprends, mais c'est très difficile
ouais,
de commencer à enregistrer, de créer un autre email Mailbox, des populations nice smartphone. Oui, oui.
Ok, donc Gilbert, vous avez mon numéro, n'est-ce pas? Demain aussi, il faudrait qu'on travaille ensemble.
Oui, oui.
Oui, demain, 10 heures de Burundi, vous m'envoyez un message, on va travailler ensemble. Comme ça, je vais vous expliquer. Peut-être d'ici mars, on est en train de regarder si on peut implémenter la partie SMS que nous avons dans la plateforme depuis, mais c'est que c'est tellement coûteux. Donc, il faut gérer comment le faire financièrement. Donc, il faudrait qu'on parle au début de la journée de demain. Comme ça, on va trouver une solution ensemble. OK? Donc, appelle-moi.
Ça, je comprends. C'est une question.
Yeah. OK. Donc, appelle-moi demain matin.
OK. Concernant la deuxième question.
Deuxième question aussi.
Oui.
OK.
Thank you, Brother Ambi, for that. And the next question is from Ahmed Tijani. Ahmed Tijani.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How can we help? You're very low, but how can we help you?
Are you hearing me now?
Sorry?
Good evening.
Gilbert, can you mute yourself? Thank you very much. Yes, sorry about that, Ahmed. Can you go ahead?
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How can we help you?
Actually, I have some few questions and a mode of advice again to give.
Okay, if you can be as brief as possible and as direct as possible, that'd be great. So how can we help you?
Okay. I have some problem with my transaction.
Okay.
My downline too. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
And Kogi State precisely. So as it is now, when they introduce transact newly, I happen to register with all my people, and by then they confirm my transact registration. Not until yesterday when I wanted to check it, and I discovered that my KYC that I did was rejected. So I wouldn't know what the cause is. And before now, there was a time I complained that whenever I register other people, they hardly approve their KYC. So I don't know what the problem is.
Right. When you did your transact, when you did your KYC,
Yes.
okay, and you did a transact,
Yes.
on your transact, the reason would have been given for the rejection. Did you have a look at that and see what it said?
As at that time, they approved it. In fact, I even transferred 10 Lumi from my Swifin account to the transact, and it came.
Yeah, well, as far as I am aware, the minimum amount you can transfer is
Created other people.
25 AKL.
No, before they increased to 25, it was 10.
Right.
I transferred 10.
So if you've looked at that, and if you've tried to transfer more than that, okay, and it's been declined, the reason would have been given for the rejection. And it's in the message. All the people on the help desk do normally write the reasons why they rejected the transaction. I know that a lot of people who originally did the transaction, their connect profile link was not on the page at the time, but since then the system has upgraded and now require your connect profile link to be part of your KYC. Now, if you're one of these people that had completed your KYC before the upgrade, that could be your reason why it is now being rejected. But you need to look at the notice to see why they've decided to. It's not like a rejection as in you've done something wrong. It's just that the system is upgraded, okay, and there's additional information that is required. So have a look at the message and see what the message has stated. Correct according to what the message has stated, and then no doubt and submit, and your KYC would no doubt be approved, sir.
When I register someone on KYC, like how many minutes does it take before the KYC be approved? Or like how many
It could take, it's going to take, no disrespect to yourself, there is a big queue with a lot of people doing their transacts. So the help desk will get around to you as soon as they can. Your patience would be appreciated in this matter, and we have to be extremely scrupulous when we're dealing with the KYCs and their Connect account and their Swifin accounts to ensure that all the details are correct, all the details match, your profiles are uploaded, everything's got to be done. So there is a vast amount of checking that is done. So your patience would be appreciated in this matter.
Because the reason why I'm just asking all this question, but sorry to say, man, I have plenty of people that are looking up to me. Are you getting me, man?
Then your people who are looking up to you will then be reassured that what's being checked is vigilant, yeah, for security reasons, to ensure that the details in which has been given and the persons who are actually accessing accounts are the correct people. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it's happening in your circles, but we have to be, the Swifin platform has to be vigilant in all the checking that has to be done. So I cannot give you, I'm not going to say to you that, oh, it's only going to, yes, everything will be done by tomorrow. No, but it will be done. That I can assure you. It will be done, and the checks will be vigilantly checked to ensure that the account meets the criteria that has been laid down by our leaders.
Yeah, so if that should be the case, I will keep a slightly patient, because I don't know if I will have that avenue to even do one practical so that I should know where the mistake is coming from.
That's why I said it should be written in the information, in the message that comes back to you to state.
Okay, when I want to transfer.
Yeah. So have a look at that first, and then we can have a look and see how we can help you. Because I can't tell you exactly why yours was rejected, because we do with so many. But if you have a look and see on your messages, then that will tell you exactly the reason why it was rejected, and then we can look and you can have a look at it from there, or get assistance from the support help desk to assist you to correct it.
Okay, then one more thing again. I said about this mailbox of the thing. Is everybody that can Is it everybody that must buy a mailbox?
Like what you heard Dr. Linus and Brother Ambi was saying earlier on, it is advisable.
Okay,
It is
because
advisable to get a Swifin mailbox because a lot of the service providers, i.e. Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, whatever, a number of those are blocking emails from coming through to the end users. So the only way to stop that from happening is to have a Swifin mailbox. If your email works fine, that's fine. If it does not, then it's suggested that you get a Swifin mailbox to ease that pressure, and you can be assured that you will receive all your communications that you need to receive from Swifin.
Because the reason why I'm saying all these things, out of the people that apply for this thing, 95 of them are not, they don't have access. They don't have access to 100 phones. Even the ones that have access to it, the procedure now is becoming tedious for us to do. So that's why I'm asking all these questions. So I hope the community will do something about it, to make it more easier for us.
Well, the easiest way we can make it for you is to have a Swifin mailbox. That is the easiest. If that's not going to be applicable to you because of one reason or another, and you are receiving your emails without no issues, then your participants should be okay. However, if they are if they're using Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, those particular third-party providers are actually blocking a number of emails or delaying some of them from actually coming through to the end users. So that's why the Swifin mailbox was created, to enable that to stop and everyone to receive their emails from the Swifin platform.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. And the last one is Vincent Okoro. Vincent, can you unmute, please?
All right. Sorry, I'm back again for some, I'm confused along the line.
What are you confused with?
All right. My confusion is about getting Swifin mail. And since Gmail cannot respond to the end message, and I myself I've not gotten the Swift email in which I'm willing to see if even if I can do it tonight. My question number one here is, when processing to get a Swifin bundle, does the message go to my formal mail? And how can I get messages that will be coming when I process the Swifin mail? That's number one question.
Okay, Dr. Linus?
That's a very good question, actually, very good question. Remember that we have actually two areas where we have very efficient internal communication. So on Connect, there is a messaging service on Connect. So if we send you the coupons by email and you don't receive it, then we can always make sure that you get them by sending them to your message box on Connect. Another place where you can receive communication from us is via your account. So if you have a Swifin account, we can also send you information from there. So don't worry, whenever you buy it, we would make sure that we deliver these to you. In fact, for the individual mailboxes, what we do is we actually communicate with the people both by email and also by sending them a message on Connect. And the message on Connect doesn't go to your email, it goes to your messages on Connect itself. Okay, so we will find a way to make sure that you get you get your new mail and you know how to access it. The other thing that you must know is that there is a standard format. The username would be your first name dot last name at inbox.swifin.com. So if anything needs to be communicated to you critically, then it would just be the password, which could be a temporary password that you can change at your own convenience later on. but we
All
will make
right.
sure you get the information.
All right. My second question is on Swifin bundle, mail bundle. That's mailbox bundle. I see there is where there's written categories, which shows connect service, Swifin mail bundle, and there's another one shows tags, mailbox bundle, Swifin mailbox bundle, Swifin and secure message. So I really want to get to understand what these terms are meant for.
Okay, the tags are just to help you if you are searching. If somebody is searching from the internet, then it might lead them to that product. Just ignore the tags. All you need to know is that we have two mailbox products. One is a bundle. When you buy the bundle, you receive coupons. Okay, a bundle is a minimum of 10. And within that 10, when you buy that 10, you receive 10 coupons that will give you 100%. Each coupon will give you 100% off a single mailbox. So you can sell each of those coupons to other members of the community, and they can use that coupon to buy a single mailbox. So for the mailbox, there are only two products, the single box and the bundle. With the bundle, when you buy the bundle, you get coupons which will give you 100% off the single box. That's it.
Okay, that means I can equally buy like 30, 40, 50 bundle at a spot.
For now, yes. If you want 20, then you just buy 2 bundles.
What
if
of
you want
30?
You buy 3 bundles.
All right.
But if there is, depending on popular demand, we can increase the size of the bundles so that there is a bundle for 30, a bundle for 100, a bundle for 1,000.
Okay.
The reason we've kept it small is that each time you buy a bundle, you receive the number of coupons in that bundle. So instead of making a bundle for 1,000, which will give you access to 1,000 coupons, it's difficult for an individual to keep track of 1,000 coupons. So you buy 10, you sell the 10, and then when you need more, you buy another 10. And then when you need more, you buy another 10. And also remember, those coupons expire after 28 days. So there is no point buying 1,000 or 1,000,000 of them. You just buy them as you need them, and then sell them and get more. Buy them and sell them and get more. That's the idea.
All right. Why I'm asking if I can be able to buy 30 bundles during the break. I was able to speak to some of our people concerning getting Swifin mail, and they bought the idea and they are waiting for our resumption. Though I told them that if I buy a bundle, it will cost them like $1 US. So now that it is more than that, well, let me see what I can do to see, even if they cannot afford it, let me see if I can help from my own side to see that they get this Swifin mailbox and the needful can be done.
Yeah, the mailbox, Vincent, addresses 2 problems, that of giving reliable access and secure communication, but also to make sure that members of the community can have a product that they can retail amongst other members of the community and generate some income for themselves. Okay,
it's quite understood.
Yes,
Thank
so that's why you pay $1 and you can sell for $2. So you get your $1 back and you make an extra $1.
All right, thank you very much.
That way you can generate 100% return on your money. And if you just do that and do that every day, then you can generate substantial income on a daily basis, because everybody needs a mailbox. It is something that is absolutely essential and necessary. And it would also make it easier for people to get help and to make sure that if you need to reset your password, you can have your password reset sent directly to your inbox. Remember, password reset last year was one of the biggest areas of support where the support team spent time. Without a reliable mailbox, you wouldn't be able to get that password reset. And so we hope that it will improve the service delivery several fold, and therefore it's extremely beneficial, in addition to giving the members of the community the opportunity to generate some income that they can use to put towards the work, that the excellent work that they're doing where they are.
Excellent. Lastly, sir, on issue of addition of AKL, I think when doing this, one have to be connected with his Swifin Transact.
No, when you're buying a bundle, the system will take the 10 AKL directly from your Connect account.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I said when you're buying a bundle, because the purchases are done on Connect, the system will automatically take the 10 AKL from your Connect account.
All right, all right.
You don't need to worry about it. You just need to make sure, that you have a minimum of 10 AKL in Connect, AKX that is, in Connect.
All right, all right.
Order for a bundle.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm satisfied with the answer.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. And just to quickly make a statement to Akia Paul, with your question in the chat. Yes, if you buy your 10 bundles, although these people have not yet registered, if I'm wrong, please, Dr. Linus, let me know. If you bought a bundle of 10, you can allocate one to, say, for discussion purposes, myself, who has not yet registered. You can then I can pay for one of those bundles because you've purchased 10. You give me one of the bundles. Yeah, I then go on to Connect. Go onto the platform. I registered that mailbox. And once it's all set up and activated, then I can go in and open my Swifin account, my Connect account, and my Transact account using my Swifin mailbox. Is that correct, Dr. Linus?
That is correct.
Right. So I hope that answers your question, Akia Paul.
Yes, and for people who already have a different email address in either Connect, Transact, or account, they can then go ahead and change it to their new mailbox, to their new Swifin mailbox.
Right. Brother Patrick, you had something.
Excuse me.
No, we don't shout out here. Thank you very much. If you want something to say, if you put your hands up, I will definitely come to you. It's not a problem. Brother Patrick, if you are still here, I think you wanted to present something to Dr. Linus. Yes. Brother Patrick, are you still here? Just want to make sure. Is he still here? Can you see him? Dr. Linus, can you see Brother Patrick?
I'm just checking. I'm just looking.
Okay. In the meantime, Akia Alum.
You have answered my question, but what I want to understand clear there is that when I send a coupon to a user, did he go into the place of purchasing a mailbox and apply the coupon so that the email could assign to her?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because that is the only way that I'm thinking, but I'm not actually perfect in it like that. I have to confirm because I will be buying in bundles. So when I want to send to the person, I have to tell him where he or she can get access to the coupon and make use of it.
Very good. You will receive the coupon and you will send one coupon to them. They will enter that coupon code when they are buying a single mailbox, and that will give them 100% off the price of the single mailbox. No matter what the price is, they'll get 100% off.
Okay.
And Paul, while I have you, the mailbox for your sister has been activated.
I'm sure he'll be happy. I'm sure he'll be happy.
I'm grateful. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know where Brother Patrick is.
I can't see him either, so I think we can close. We have been at it for quite some time today.
Very informative as always, and thanks everyone for your questions. And Dr. Linus and Brother Ambi for your solutions or resolutions. and everyone's participation in this. There was just something I just like to bring forward. Your KYCs and transact. One account to one transact, okay? If you have 2 Swifin accounts or 3 Swifin accounts, yeah, because I know that happened in the earlies, you're allowed only one transact account that is automatically linked to your Swifin account. So if you have another Swifin account out there, you cannot then transfer from that second Swifin account that you have, because your account is already linked to your Swifin account that you've already used to register your KYC. So I'm just telling you to, so that you're mindful that you cannot transfer from your other Swifin accounts. If you have them, you can only transfer from the one Swifin account that you have registered on your KYC, and you're only allowed one KYC account and one business KYC account. And if it's your business KYC account, it has to be registered in your business name, not your personal name, because that makes it look like you have 2 accounts. So just be mindful, because it will be rejected if that comes, if it comes up, it will be rejected that you have 2 accounts, and you may not. One may be your personal, the other one your business. Please ensure your business account is registered in your business name and your business backup information. Thank you. Sorry, Dr. Linus and Brother MB, please go ahead.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sister Pauline, for that very clear clarification on the KYC. It is important because otherwise people get your requests get rejected and you might not understand why they are being rejected. It's important that we understand the KYC on your Transact account is very important. So you must take it seriously. Everything will be checked. And if it is not in order, it will be declined. It doesn't matter how many times our team checks it. If it is not correct, it will be declined. So don't submit the same information again if it's been turned down. That's just in the interest of the community and for your own interest. That is so important. This year, as we said from the outset, we really do need to scale. We need growth. We need to reach more households. We need the community to be even more active than ever before, so that this movement can go from strength to strength. Whenever we come across a challenge, we need to address that challenge. We need to solve that problem and move on to growing the numbers and making the community larger and larger and larger, so that our voice, collective voice, can become even louder and louder. And we would have to be heard in the direction that we want to go, towards inclusive exchange of value in an accessible manner for all. We want to make sure that we're all working together to build the foundation that is necessary for an equitable access in a way that the world hasn't seen before, and on a scale that is unprecedented. I'm confident we will achieve it. So let's keep moving. Let's keep going. Thank you very much and have a good night.
Thank you, Dr. Linus. Brother MB, any closing remarks?
Yes. Thank you all so much for attending the session of this evening. And Dr. Linus, thank you for steering the ship alone while I was out on a mission. Just to mention to everyone in the community that where I was this evening, we will be bringing some of these products to the community for the benefit of the community. Probably somewhere in the middle of February, we will announce the first bucket that is available and the modalities for participation in that bucket. It's very much around alternative assets, alternative investments, and things like that. That as time goes on, we will be sharing with you the details of how it works and giving everyone, the idea is to give even the lowest people in the lowest rank in our communities the opportunities to make benefits that or to participate in things that normally they would not be able to participate because it's very, very far away from them. And we'll try to bring it as close as possible to everyone to have the opportunity. Otherwise, I wish you guys a fantastic evening. I'm looking forward to our session tomorrow evening at 8:30 South Africa time. Thank you. Good night.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Linus and Dr. Ambi, and thank you all for attending today. As you heard Brother Ambi say, we have another session tomorrow. So if there's anything you've heard today and you want clarification, please attend tomorrow. That is 8:30 South Africa time. I don't know what time that is in any of your countries, but I'm sure you can use whatever devices that you have that can assist you with that. So that's 8:30 tomorrow, South Africa time. And just fully enjoy yourselves and have a pleasant evening. And for those who spread it so that other people can come on board, like we had our new sister today. More joy to my heart, another person that's at least come to hear. And that's edify, so we can go forward and really and truly enhance this wonderful work that we are all involved in. On that note, everyone can unmute. Brother Ambi, you now have the session, and you can do as you wish. And everyone, you can unmute and say your highs and goodbyes.
Hi.
Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Good night,
you.
everyone.
Bye. Good night,
night.
everybody.
Good evening, everyone. Have a nice rest.
Good evening, everyone.
Okay.
God bless you.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, and so to you.
God bless.
Sister Emma,
Good night.